Welcome to Capcut Mobile. This is the interface that you're going to find once you download the app. So to get started, you simply click on New Project, the blue thing right in the middle. You just click it, and then as you can see, you can go ahead and choose your files, and you're going to click on Add. Don't worry, you can always add files later if you need to. So now that we have our files imported, we can use both of our thumbs to zoom out or zoom into our timeline. So I'll zoom out for now, and as you can see, we have our clips, and we have a bunch of features on the bottom. So what I will do is I will go ahead and explain the main ones that we're going to use in the editing of our actual project. Before doing that, keep in mind that these are not all of the features, and some features are unlocked if you click, for example, on a clip. As you can see, you're going to find multiple features that you can use that weren't available before. And sometimes if you go further, for example, you click on speed, you're going to find even more features to customize your video further. So once you have done this, you go ahead and click on the double dash on the bottom left, and you're going to click it once again, and you get back to your original screen so that you can now see all of the features. So let's go ahead and start from the start. The first one is edit. If you click it, it's basically going to select the clip on which your player panel is, which is that white line in the middle of the screen. When you use edit, you unlock a bunch of features that you can use to modify your clip. The first one is split, which simply allows you to split your clip, as you can see. And then you can go ahead and use speed, and you can, for example, speed up your clip if you go on normal, or you can also go ahead and do speed ramps by going on curve, which, as you can see, is going to allow you to choose some different stylizations of speed ramps. We're not going to mess with this, so let's click none and go back to normal. And then we have animations, which are really useful if you want to add fades in. As you can see for our clip, just like so, you can make it longer, so something like this. You can make it out, so a fade out, and you can use some combo animations. Then we have delete, which simply deletes the clip, as you can see. And then we have enhance voice, which reduces the noise of the voice. Although it's not that good, I highly suggest you to use Adobe Podcast, which is going to give you far greater results. And then we have isolate voice, which is going to keep the vocals, for example, from a song or from a video, or remove them. Although this feature is pro, so no point in explaining this. And then we have retouch, which retouches the color grading of the face, not that useful. We have camera tracking, which is a feature that theoretically allows you to track any object, for example a text, to any moving object in the frame. Maybe it's a car, maybe it's a hand moving, a finger. However, it's not that good, and if you're going to use motion tracking, I suggest to do it manually with keyframes. Then we have volume, which reduces or enhances the volume of the clip. Then we have transform, which allows you to rotate the clip, or you can mirror it, so flip it horizontally, or you can crop it by clicking on resize. As you can see, you can also choose some aspect ratios. For example, you can go with 9:16 because that's what you're going to use in this short. Then you can go on adjust, which is going to allow you to adjust the color grading. As you can see, you have multiple values that you can choose from. You can also go ahead and go on filters and choose a filter of your liking. And then there is remove background, which is pretty self-explanatory. You click on auto removal, and as you can see, the background is going to be removed. This is going to be extremely useful to add stuff behind Lambros. What we're going to do is we're going to remove background from one layer and then duplicate the background basically, so that we can have stuff in between Lambros and the background. For example, icons or text. You can also click on chroma key, which is going to allow you to remove green screens from your screen. However, here we do not have any green screens, so we can't really use this. And then we have overlay, which allows you to overlay this clip on top of all of the other ones. This can be useful for icons, PNGs, memes, whatever you want to do. Then you can go on basic and change the position, as you can see, of your clip. A really key feature with this is the keyframe button. If I click a keyframe right here, as you can see, it's going to create on top of the clip. And then I can go forward in time by scrubbing, and then moving the position of this clip, and the second keyframe is going to automatically generate. And now if I play this, as you can see, it's going to move downwards just like so. This is really important if you want to add movement to our clips, icons, b-roll, whatever. We are going to use this a lot. We can also click on scale and add keyframes on scale, and we can rotate stuff. Then we can go mask and create some masks on our clip. The main ones that we are going to use are rectangle and horizontal. We are going to use the horizontal to create this sort of feather, as you can see, and the rectangle to round corners of stuff. Then we can go ahead and hit duplicate to duplicate the clip, as you can see. We can also extract the audio, which is going to simply put the audio below so that you can remove it if you want. And then you can also add motion blur to your image. And then there is stabilize, which helps you stabilize shaky footage. We have opacity, which allows you to, as you can see, reduce the opacity of the clip. And then we have reverse, which simply reverse the clip. We have freeze, which creates a still frame of the same, as you can see, image that we have frozen. And then we have audio effects. And then we have beats, which allows you to add beats on your music. So you can either do that manually if you have a music, or you can auto-generate. And these are all the features that you can use while editing clips. If we go back to the first interface, we have audio, where we can choose sounds, which is going to choose, as you can see, TikTok sounds from a library. And then we have brand music, which is music that you can upload to your space on Capcut, and you can download it both from your phone and your PC. As you can see, I have my space, which is called Buzz Space. I can upload all the music that I want, and I can download it from wherever. And then there is copyright, which is going to run copyright checks on your video. Sound effects, which, as you can see, just is a library of sound effects included in Capcut. Then we have extract, which is going to extract the audio from a video in your gallery. And then there is record, which can be used to record the voiceover directly in Capcut. Then we have text, which simply allows you to, as you can see, add text, which you can modify and call however you want. As you can see, you can move it, do all that kind of stuff. You can stylize it, of course, with whatever you want. You can also choose some effects which are pre-made from Capcut. You can animate it, all of that stuff. And then you can also go ahead and hit on auto captions, and that's going to allow you to create auto captions from what the speaker is saying. This is extremely useful, and there is a completely dedicated lesson on captions later on. Then you can go on overlay. Overlay allows you to add an overlay, which is basically another video that you can add on top of your current A-roll. The video could be a meme, an icon, a PNG. An example from what we are going to do later, we are going to add books which are going to move on top of Lambros, and they're going to explain what's happening. Then we have effects, which allows you to add video effects. So for example, there might be a camera shake, a neon outline, a flash, a blur, an edge glow, a film frame, whatever it is. There's a lot of sections that you can navigate here. And then there is body effects, which are effects made for body. So for example, there are effects that create an outline around the body and stuff like that. And then if you go back, we have captions, which we have already talked about in the auto caption. And then we can find aspect ratio, which is extremely important. Always go here and click 9:16 if you want to create a 9:16 video. And now you're going to be able to have a 9:16 video. Proceeding, we have filters and adjust, which are, as you can see, close to each other. They both are useful for color grading, as I've shown you earlier. Although if you adjust from here, as you can see, if I now increase the contrast and I click OK, there is going to be an adjustment layer. So I can now drag this adjustment layer to the start, and also the first clip is going to have the color grading. So this is a really useful way to add your color grading only to certain parts of the image by using these adjustment layers. And lastly, there is background, which allows you to create a background. So as you can see, if I now reduce the scale of my video by using my thumbs, I can go on the toolbar below, click on color and create a background color as I'd like. And I can also add a blur. This is called canvas in Capcut PC. I'm going to show you in the next lesson. And this is basically the background of, as you can see, the A-roll, but blurred and bigger. You can choose how much you want it blurred. And then if you want to add a transition, what we need to do is go right here in between clips and click the white thing and click the white square. And as you can see, we can now add transitions in between our clips. So now if I go ahead and play this, as you can see, there is Lambros and then there is transition right in between, and that's what happens. And as you can see, you're going to have that little symbol which symbolizes that there is a transition here. And now that we've finished the main features, let's go over a couple more of commands and how to export. So first, on the right side, as you can see, there is undo and redo. So for example, let's say that I delete this clip. I can now click undo and it's going to show once again. And if I actually wanted it deleted, I can just click on redo. And then I can go ahead and of course hit the play button in the middle. I can also go full screen by clicking this button right here. And then right here on the top, you can click on 720p and increase the resolution of your video as much as you'd like. I'll go with 4K. And for the frame rate, I could go with 60, but I'll just stick to 30. And the code rate, always leave this in recommended. And as you can see, you're going to receive the estimated file size. You can go ahead and click on the top right button, and that's going to allow you to export. Keep in mind that if you export in 4K, it's going to take way longer than a standard 1080p. Now you know everything about Capcut Mobile. So I'll see you in the next lesson where we're going to talk about Capcut on desktop. I suggest you to watch it so that you can also understand the interface from desktop and you're going to be able to follow along from your phone because you already know where the key features are. So I'll see you there.